Welcome to The Problematic Gaze with me, Dr. Lee Arnott.
And me, Dave Moore.
Each episode we take a piece of pop culture from yesteryear and ask ourselves the question, could you get away with it today? And if not, why not? And what does that say about society and culture then and now?
And before we take a deep dive into our chosen topic, we'll also look at the news events of the day. We'll look at the TV landscape and the pop charts, just to put our chosen topic and the year into context.
Very good.
Phew, I almost lost it then.
You kept it going very well.
I
thought
did.
you were very good.
Yeah,
yes.
we're getting really good now, aren't we? Almost professional.
Almost professional. Here we are in the new studio surrounds of PG2. Quite the difference, I think you'll find, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
all 34 cents of our takings from the podcast have gone into making this.
Yes.
You know, it's got new lighting.
Yes.
New little gizmos and
Yes.
things.
Yes.
Instruments.
Haven't extended to the refreshments because we are actually drinking our own urine today. So-
I'm not. I'm drinking beer.
Cider.
And it's beer. Because we decided not to drink today, didn't we?
Yeah, we said we're not drinking.
No, so
Cheers.
it's just beer and cider rather than
drinking.
wine and champagne. Just a light refreshment, really.
Just a light refreshment.
It's just to wet our whistle, to make
Thank
our
you.
voices looser.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what are we discussing today, our Dave?
Today we're discussing from 1986, Cagney and Lacey.
Cagney and Lacey.
Now, we always tend to do American accents.
Really bad.
Really bad. And to all our new American listeners, we can only apologise because we have got quite a few new American listeners.
We have.
From our interview with Matt Baum on the sewers of Paris.
Yes.
So welcome to our US contingents, please.
Welcome, American viewers and listeners.
To a small bolt hole in leafy Hertfordshire.
In England.
In England.
UK.
Yes.
What's your relationship to Cagney and Lacey? That's the last time I'm going to do it.
Yeah, let's not do that anymore. My relationship to Cagney and Lacey.
Can't help it, can we?
Come on, it's great. It's because we love it so much.
We love it so much.
Yeah, I love Cagney and Lacey. It was broadcast all the way through the 80s, wasn't
Yes.
it? In the UK, crossed over the pond, and it was a big success. And everyone tuned in, and I loved it. I'm not going to say any more than that for now, because we're obviously going to the minutiae. But I love Mary Beth and Christine.
As do I. Huge fan at the time. I think it was a bit like Charlie's Angels. It was unusual to see a TV show where it was women for the main parts and were supporting each other and helping each other. And we had endless summer holidays playing Cagney and Lacey. Pretend you were running through like subway cars and stuff like this with guns. Going, praise police. You know, did a lot of that.
Yeah, I mean, they were just wonderful women.
Yes, they were. They were. So the episode we've chosen is one called The Gimp. Which came with a load of preconceptions, just the very name of it. And it was broadcast in America on January the 27th. I couldn't find a UK date for it, but 1986. So should we cross over to the news desk and have a look at some of the events that were happening in the UK in 1986?
Let's do it.
So, we already looked at some events in our Top Gun episode, but here are a few more. On January the 9th, Defence Secretary Michael Heseltine resigns in the Westland affair. Now, he was a favourite of Margaret Thatcher, I remember. Tarzan was his nickname, wasn't it?
For his tousled hair.
That's right, he had very tousled hair, very striking hair. Basically, he quits over a dispute regarding the future of British helicopter manufacturer Westland, which kind of shows there are deep divisions within the cabinet and that Margaret Thatcher's authority is not as absolute as everyone thought it was. And basically, Westland is a struggling helicopter firm, and should it be rescued by a European consortium or an American company? It just disagreed with her, so I'm off.
Right.
And then later on, he tries to take over, doesn't he?
Oust her.
Yeah, puts himself up for, and she said it was one of the worst betrayals ever.
Wow.
Oh.
All's fair in love and politics, eh?
Absolutely.
All a bunch of backstabbers, aren't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
Hey, as soon as your back's turned. Okay, it's like us, really.
Yeah.
Anyway, on the 12th of February, the Channel Tunnel Treaty is signed between the UK and France, who agree on plans to construct the Channel Tunnel, a landmark binational infrastructure project.
Yes.
So this is the start of it. It's going to happen.
Linking us to the European continent for the first time in 8,000 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
We've talked about that before. That
have.
it's only 8,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Gazers, it was a fjord avalanche.
That's right. In Norway, wasn't it?
Norway, yes.
And that caused a tsunami, which cut us off from the rest of the continent. But it's only 8,000 years.
Yeah. Don't say you never learn anything on this podcast.
Honestly. On February the 17th, the UK formally commits to deeper integration with the EEC, that's the European Economic Community,
Well done.
by signing the Single European Act, the treaty that aims to create a single market within the European community by 1992, enhancing economic integration and expanding the powers of European institutions.
Well, that sounds fabulous, doesn't it?
I mean, what's not to love
What's
about,
not to love?
greater integration? It means you can move around this huge continent. It means you've got easier trade. I mean, it's all going to be fabulous.
Freedom of movement.
Yes. Movement.
Freedom of movement. You can fall in love with whoever you want to all
Yeah.
over Europe and go and live with them in that nice foreign country.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds wonderful.
Sounds wonderful.
It's going to be great,
Wonderful.
isn't it? On the 31st of March, there's a fire at Hampton Court Palace that caused extensive damage to the historic Royal Palace in Surrey, making national headlines.
Can't remember.
I can't remember that.
No.
It's not like the Windsor fire
No. Yeah.
with that Anus Horribilis.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, I love Hampton Court. It's one of my favourite
Lovely,
palaces.
isn't it? Lovely.
Yeah.
Two palaces for one, don't you?
Yes,
Because you get
do.
Henry VIII, the 16th century one, and then you get the 18th century one as well. So, yeah.
You do. And you get a really nice garden.
Nice maze.
Nice maze.
Yeah.
Nice. I've glitched.
Glitched.
We're all Stepford Wives. I'm trying to think. Nice grapevine. Very old grapevine.
yes. And early tennis courts.
Yes.
Yes, where Henry VIII would play, swing a racket around.
Yeah. Lots of chimneys.
Lots of chimneys. Yeah. And of
That's
course,
because they were a thing, weren't they?
the more chimneys you had, basically it was a status symbol because it showed that each of those chimneys had to have wood to fire it. So if you have hundreds of chimneys like they have on Hampton Court, that's like, wow, this guy has a lot of wood. And Henry VIII
He did,
and his
didn't
6
they?
wives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we had to take it there, didn't we?
Tyrannical bastard. Anyway, in April, following the Chernobyl nuclear disaster, radioactive fallout spreads across Europe, heavily covered in the UK use. I remember being paranoid with my mates on the council estate we lived on about acid rain and worried about fallout.
Yeah, I wonder what all the reports were like. Obviously, we're not going to get too in-depth in it now, but I wonder if there was a higher incidence of cancer and birth defects going across.
I remember lots of talk about sheep getting radiated and you wouldn't be able to have the meat and wool and stuff.
Right.
And we've talked before about the paranoia about radiation and nuclear war and all things nuclear at this point. So this all just feeds into it, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It hasn't affected us at all, apart from I've got like an extra eye on my left shoulder.
Yeah, and I've got a triple nipple.
You can't blame that on the radiation.
No, that was there before 1986.
Yes.
That was there since birth.
Yeah.
I haven't got 3 nipples, I've just got a mole. Okay, anyway, I don't know. Why are we doing this? What's
Are we having
the
an
wherefore
existential
of it all?
crisis?
Yeah, why are we here? What are we doing?
We're here because we're a nominated Independent Podcast Award nominee.
That's
That's
right.
why we're here. Come on, fix up.
Independent Podcast Awards.
Yes.
3 nominations.
3 nominations. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, done it.
Done
Okay.
it. Snap out over here.
Yeah.
Also in April, the European Court rules against the UK on the Sunday trading laws, ruling that the UK restrictive Sunday trading laws violated European community rules on free trade. This judgment put pressure on Parliament to relax long-standing restrictions on Sunday business hours and was a pivotal moment in the shift towards 24/7 retail culture.
Yeah. Do you remember on Sunday when there was nothing open at all? God, it was grim. It was just, Sundays just stopped. Everyone just stopped, didn't they?
I know, and at the same time in the US, like mall culture was really taking off as well, which was like a real weekend outing for people, wasn't it? But whereas here, you couldn't even buy a bloody bottle of milk anywhere.
You get your Sunday newspapers. I think the newsagents would be allowed to be open for like a couple of hours, but that was it. Nothing else was open.
Hey, well, it's them bloody Europeans telling us what we can do, what we can't do.
Life was simpler then, Dave. It was simpler.
So we had to sit around the table and talk to each other on
To
a
run
Sunday.
with our racism and misogyny, that's all. You know, that's what we had to do.
With
Oh,
the
no.
dripping warming by the fire.
Yeah, my gran used to have dripping.
My gran did as
Yeah.
well. It was awful, wasn't it?
God.
Well, that's what our parents grew up on.
Yeah.
Dripping sandwiches.
Yeah, dripping for international listeners and viewers is basically the fat that you collect after you've roasted a joint, and the
Yes.
fat kind of solidifies, and you keep it, and you could just like, my gran used to like slice it on bread, smear it on a slice of bread and
Yes.
stuff, and she always had 2 sausages stuck up in it in the kitchen for some reason. Oh my God, it was minging.
Never did our parents any harm, did it?
No. On December November the 8th, the large-scale privatisation of British Gas begins when shares in British Gas are floated at a record valuation of £9 billion, marking another pivotal moment in Thatcher's privatisation agenda. Do you remember the adverts? It was like, have you seen Sid? It was like, tell Sid. And anybody could suddenly buy shares in British Gas.
Who was Sid?
I don't know. And how's privatisation gone, do we think?
Well, my bloody gas bill's just gone up again.
Right, yes.
As I'm sure have the profits of the gas companies and their shareholders.
Yes, and those CEOs must be due another pay rise.
There must be. I don't know how they cope.
Poor little lobs. Poor lobs.
And of course, the bonuses. They need their bonuses.
They've got to buy Christmas, haven't they? Christmas
because they've worked extra hard on top of their £1 million wages.
Yes.
Must get the bonuses.
And services have got much better.
They have.
Obviously.
Yes.
So privatisation, what a winner.
Love it. In 1986, it also sees the opening of Andrew Lloyd Webber's The Phantom of the Opera in London's West End. Have you ever seen Phantom of the Opera?
I'm not a huge musical fan.
That surprises me.
Lloyd Webber, I know I'm a bad gay. And Lloyd Webber stuff, I just find it a little bit...
We like Evita, don't we, because of Madonna? I do, anyway.
Again, I'm just
say yes. Just please, just for me. Just say yes, you like Evita.
Yes. Yeah, I like Evita.
Yeah. Well done. Well, it wasn't hard, was it?
It's not my favourite version of Don't Cry For Me Argentina out there.
Whose was that then?
Karen Carpenter's.
Okay, fine. I bow to you.
Yeah.
I think Madonna would say the same, actually.
Yes, she would, actually.
Like
yeah.
Carpenters.
Yes, she does. She was a big Carpenters fan.
Yeah. We've gone really gay all of a sudden, haven't we?
We have. We pulled it back, actually.
Yeah.
I am gay.
Yeah.
I am gay.
Well, let's talk of European Union and
Yes.
helicopter Westmoreland affairs. That's a bit too much for us, wasn't
No,
it?
and British Gas shares. Yeah.
Back to Madonna, Evita and Cagney and
Thank
Lacey.
you. Normal service has been resumed. Should we have a look at the top 10 TV shows of 1986?
Yes, let's do it.
So these are the highest rated shows of the year. Number 10 is the sitcom Duty Free.
We were talking to our special guest about a member of Duty
We were.
Free, a cast member.
Yes, we were. Yeah, just yesterday we were talking about that. Yeah, Duty
were.
Free. Sitcom again. We talked in our Only Fools and Episodes. We talked about the kind of exoticism still of Spain and package holidays. And here is a sitcom set in Spain, clearly filmed in the studio LWT.
I was in Leeds.
Was it in Leeds?
Yes.
Yorkshire Television, was it really? Gosh.
Yeah.
But 17.35 million viewers.
I mean, it was great. It gripped the nation because the basic premise was that the man in the one couple was having an affair with the woman in the other couple.
Yeah. One couple was quite posh.
Yes.
And the other couple were very Yorkshire.
Yes.
Weren't they? And the worlds collided.
Yes, each episode it was kind of quite farcical, hilarity ensued.
I think it's due on the list.
I think it's
Get
due
it
on the list. We might be
Yeah.
able to get one of the stars of Duty Free to come along, might we? With our showbiz connection.
Oh, yes, we might be able to.
Might be able to.
Well, that 1 degree of separation, might.
Sorry,
Next.
just while we have a planning
Make a
meeting,
note.
excuse us,
Make
I'm
a
going to write that
note.
down. Make a note. Yes, Duty Free.
Duty Free, yes.
Cute.
Cute.
Okay, at number 9, people do the funniest things. Now, is this a precursor to...
I don't know. Is this like...
You've been
you think it must
framed?
be, yeah. Do they though?
Quite badly researched, aren't we?
Number 8, Last of the Summer Wine is still pulling them in. 18 million viewers.
Wow.
5th of January, 1986. Gosh.
Again, we talked a while ago about the Sunday shows. That was like the impending doom clock ticking down to school
to
on
school,
Monday.
yeah.
It was kind of songs of praise.
Yes.
Last of the Summer Wine.
Yeah.
Heartbeat.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
that.
my heartbeat was a bit late.
A bit later.
Yeah.
That was when we
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
want to go to work on Monday.
Yes. The feelings are the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 7 is a Blind Date.
Yeah.
With Cilla Black.
Yeah. Chinchilla Slack. There she is.
Please refer back to our episode on blind dates.
Number 6 was a boxing match. The World Featherweight Championship. Barry McGuigan versus Danilo Cabrera. Good.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, number 5, the Prince and Princess of Wales in private and in public. No, I don't know about this. Must be a documentary.
Yeah, it must have been. Again, this whole thing about trying to make the world a bit more accessible,
Yes.
which will reach its zenith a year after this year with It's a Royal Knockout. Check out the episode on It's a Royal Knockout.
Yes. They were in trouble at this point, weren't they?
In terms of,
Not getting on with each other.
were they not?
1986. Well, I mean, we didn't really get on with each other right from the start, to be honest.
One might still be in the as much honeymoon phase as you can possibly have when you find out your husband has been having an affair with somebody and intends to continue having an affair with the woman in the first 3 years of your marriage.
Are you talking about our queen?
I guess I am, yeah.
Still strange, that, isn't it?
Isn't it? Can't get used to it at all. Number 4 is Only Fools and Horses. Refer to our programme on Only Fools and Horses.
My God, we've done everything, haven't we? Well, I hope we haven't done everything.
We haven't done it duty free.
No.
So we haven't really.
Number 3 is Coronation Street, still riding high at this point.
Number 2, Just Good Friends. Jan Francis, Paul Nicholas.
Yes.
The story of he jilts her on their wedding day like 10 years earlier, and they meet up again in a bar and they start to rekindle their relationship, and it's the ups and downs of that. I loved a bit of Just Good Friend.
Yeah, it kind of passed me by a little bit. I think I was living in the Middle East at this point.
Also, another class thing though, because she's posh and he's working class. So
a lot of class-based.
Very much so. It's almost like the UK is obsessed with class still at this point. You know, one for the list, I think. Just Good Friends.
Yes. Yeah, we should
very
do that.
much so.
Okay, and at number 1, kind of no surprise here, EastEnders continues to dominate.
Yes.
The airwaves, 30.15 million.
That must be consolidated viewing figures.
Well, that's on the 25th. That's the Christmas Day episode, and the 28th.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Sitcoms. Classic sitcoms, actually. Long-running sitcoms. Some royals and boxing.
Barry McGuigan.
Should we have a look at the top 20 charts of this week, 1986? This is the official singles chart, the 26th of January, 1986. Confidence levels?
Very, very high.
Very high for me as well.
Yes,
Very
and
high.
I'm sure for a lot of our gazers, 1986 was probably the pinnacle of their chart knowledge.
Yes.
So, number 20, In a Lifetime, Clanad featuring Bono. My God, if anything worse, could you?
Clanad, they were the kind of folky. They did the theme tune to Robin of Sherwood, that's what I remember.
Robin, the Hooded Man.
Yeah.
Remember. Apologies to our Irish listeners.
Number 19, Living in America, James Brown.
Yes.
Great song.
Great song.
Great
Number
song.
18, Who's Zooming Who? Aretha
Franklin.
Yes.
Another great song.
Yeah.
Number 17, Sanctify Yourself by Simple Minds.
Do you know that one?
I do, actually. I mean, I couldn't sing it to you, but I do know it.
Yeah. Okay.
Obviously, wasn't a huge Simple Minds fan. Come as a surprise to absolutely nobody.
Don't you forget about me.
Don't you forget about me either.
Number 16, Hit That Perfect Beat, Bronski Beat. That was a good one, wasn't
good
it?
one,
Very
yeah.
high energy.
Very high energy. Classic number 15, Pull Up to the Bumper, Grace Jones. I just found out relatively recently what that song was about.
What's it about?
Bum sex.
Is it? Pull
Yeah.
Up the Bumper.
Yes.
Well, I never. Was that Giorgio Moroder?
Don't think so.
No, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but it's all about dirty bum sex.
Oh.
Yeah.
Got
off it now. Lies.
Dirty. Okay, number 14, It's All Right, Baby's Coming Back, Eurythmics.
Great song.
Again,
Eurythmics,
I knew it. This would be a good chart.
Eurythmics in their imperial phase at this point.
Yeah.
Number 13, Alice, I Want You Just For Me, Full Force.
Sounds a little bit coercive.
Yeah, I think Alice needs to fucking run for the hills at the sound of
needs
that.
to
Yeah.
get in her car.
She does.
Just get the fuck out of
Yes,
Dodge.
she does.
Okay, number 12. Speaking of which, The Phantom of the Opera, Sarah Brightman and Steve Harley.
Yeah. Steve Harley, as in like Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel.
I don't know, but that's what it says. Yeah.
Number 11, You Little Thief.
All right.
Fergal Sharkey. We like Fergal Sharkey.
We do like Fergus
We like
Sharkey.
Fergal, especially
Yeah,
now
we
he's
do.
holding everybody to account with polluting all our rivers and run waterways.
Yeah.
Dirty bastards.
Talk about a career swerve.
Yeah, absolutely. And also talk about the marvellous effect of privatisation.
Mm-hmm. Yes, well done, Fergal.
Well done, Fergal.
Fighting the system.
Yeah.
Talk about systems. Number 10, System Addict. 5 stars. See what I did there?
Ooh,
High five.
I never high five. Makes me feel really awkward.
High five.
Fuck off.
Go on, do it. Give me 5.
Oh, stop it.
On the side.
No, fuck off.
Up above.
Fuck off.
And below.
Stop it.
You're too slow.
If that's what a bit of lager does for you, you're not having any more.
Oh, hang on. Let me just top my lager up.
Telling you.
Yes, perfect.
Number 9, Saturday Love, Sherelle with Alexander O'Neill. Don't know it.
Alexander O'Neill.
Yeah. He's one of the games, wasn't he? Put that cat on my coast.
Okay. It's kicking in now, this beer.
Yeah,
isn't
I'll
it?
say.
Oh, I've got a bit of a sweat on.
Head on that.
I know.
I tell you what, if you were the Rovers return, that would be thrown in your face.
Have you ever worked in a pub?
No.
Have you never?
No.
I used to give good head.
Well, I mean,
When I poured a pint, I'm talking about in a kind of bar,
yeah.
pub scenario.
Please move the conversation because I will take it worse.
Okay. Okay. Number 8. Suspicious minds find young cannibals. Yes. Riding high.
Riding high. Number 7, classic West End girls, Pet Shop Boys. There's some corkers here, aren't
This
there?
is where it all started for them, wasn't it?
Do you think there's going to be any shaky?
There might be some shaky.
So long. Okay, well, number
God.
7, let's see. Let's
Okay, now number 6, classic.
Classic.
When the going gets tough, get going. Billy Ocean.
Classic.
Yeah,
Classic.
fabulous.
God, it's hit after hit.
Did I tell you my Billy Ocean story?
No.
So I was with my husband at this premiere when he was working at it and going on the red carpet, and he was kind of organising the stars and everything. And there was Billy Ocean there. And I was like, you know, I love Billy Ocean. And he said, I'll go up to him, it'll be fine, get a picture with him. And I bottled out because I was too shy. And I thought, standing pride of place on my mantelpiece now could be a picture of me with Billy Ocean.
Showed a picture of you and your husband.
And I blew it.
Yeah, you blew it. Yeah. That was a great story. Cheers,
My
Dave.
head's going down now.
Yeah. Billy Ocean's great.
He was great, yeah.
Really great. Number 5, Broken Wings, Mr.
It's quite an earnest song, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Very earnest.
Yeah.
Oh, one
here
for
she
you,
comes.
darling.
There she comes. The beginning of her global domination. Number 4, Borderline by Madonna. Now, that's a reissue, if my memory serves me correct.
Right.
Yes, it says brackets 1986.
I suppose so. Yes, because it was one of her very early ones, wasn't
Yes,
it?
I think in the UK she's had Holiday so far.
Strap in,
And
everybody.
Lucky Star.
Strap in.
We can call this out. And then she had...
And then there was the B-side of which was only released on mini disc, actually. And...
Taking the piss.
No, because I'd be the same with Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Number 3, Walk of Life, Dire Straits.
Brilliant song. It is
It's
a good
dad's song.
It's a great song. Well, I had my dad's album.
My dad had his album. My
Played
dad had it
over
as
and over
well.
again.
Hence the dad's songness. My dad had it as well. So, yeah.
But I love it. Whenever I hear it, it just takes me back to 1986.
Right.
My little cassette recorder.
Yeah, I mean, our fingers would be burning with this top 10 on
Yeah, they
radio on a
would.
Sunday night, wouldn't we? We don't have enough tape.
I know.
Yeah.
Number 2, Lila. Nana Muscuri.
Do you know what that's from?
Okay, hang on, let me guess. It's something. Is it like a? Excuse me, the beer. It's something. Is it not Mistral's daughter?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. There's 80s miniseries like Lace,
Yeah.
Hollywood Wives, Mistral's Daughter, Stephanie Powers.
It's all in the
And
data bank
Stacey
somewhere.
Keach. Yeah. I loved it. I loved those miniseries.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you seen them lately?
I have watched Hollywood Wives recently.
Yeah.
And it was shit. But Deceptions, which I have talked about before, which is Stephanie Powers playing twins, is still absolutely fantastic.
Is it so bad it's good?
It's so bad it's good. Yeah.
Right,
It's,
maybe that's one for the list.
yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Get Deceptions on the list.
Well, I'll get Stephanie Powers on the phone, see if she'll come on the pod.
Please do. She won't. She's quite tricksy, apparently.
Yeah, well, if she hears that we're award nominated,
She'll probably come out, actually. Yeah, she will.
she might come.
Yes, she will.
Can up the calibre of our guests now, as per
She
next
will.
week.
Yes, yeah, we can. I'm going to reveal what's number 1.
Go on, do it.
Number 1 is The Sun Always Shines on TV by Aha. Great song.
Riding High.
Riding High.
Did you used to fancy Morton Harkett? Oh, my God.
Yes, but I'd fancy Paul more.
Paul.
Yeah. It's spelled P-A-L, but it's got a circle over the A, which means the A is pronounced or, so it's Paul. Yeah, but I fancied him more. No, I fancied Mags. Mags was the one I fancied. Mags had the curly hair. Paul was the blonde one, and obviously Morton. It was Mags, Morton, and Paul. That was the order.
You've thought about this,
I really have, yeah. I really have.
You've studied this
I
furiously,
was a
haven't you?
big fan.
Yeah.
Big fan. In fact, 1986 was the year I went to Norway with the school for my birthday.
You didn't stalk how hard, did you?
No, but they gave me their album cassette Hunting High and Low, which is where this song comes from for my birthday. And I stand up in front of the school we'd swap with because my birthday was over there.
Wow. I wasn't expecting all that story when I said, did you used to fancy Morton Harkett?
No, there you go. It's quite involved.
Shall we take a break?
Let's take a break. I think I need to lie down.
It's that cider. Kicking in.
Gets me all frisky.
Oh, all right then. Because there's a table between us.
Right, to the matter in hand. Dave, would you like to give us a bit of information about the TV show Cagney and Lacey?
I will. Cagney and Lacey is an American police procedural drama television series that aired on CBS television for 7 seasons between 1982 and 1988. The show is about 2 New York police detectives who lead very different lives. Christine Cagney, a career-minded single woman, while Mary Beth Lacey is a married working mother. The series is set in a fictionalized version of Manhattan's 14th precinct. The pilot had Loretta Swit in the role of Cagney, while the first 6 episodes had Meg Foster in the role, and then when the show was revived for a full season run, Sharon Gless portrayed the role for 6 consecutive years. So it starred Sharon Gless and Tyne Daly.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the bones of it.
Wonderful. Shall I tell you what happened in this episode called The Gimp?
Yeah.
It's not what you think it's about.
No.
Unfortunately. When a spate of mugging targets people with disabilities, Christine joins forces with charismatic activist Ted Peters, eventually going undercover in a wheelchair to try to solve the case. But Christine gets more than she bargains for as her preconceptions are challenged and she finds herself smitten with Ted. That's what we need to know, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Now, before we start, this is a crime story about catching a mugger who is targeting disabled people.
Yes.
But primarily, it's a story about disability, isn't it?
Yes.
So I just want to say right at the start of this that we will be talking about disability quite a lot in this episode.
Yes.
And if I, primarily, or Dr. Lee, gets their terminology wrong when talking about disability, then we apologise in advance.
Yes.
We are the problematic gay, so sometimes we do get phrasings wrong, etc.
Yeah.
And we're more than happy to be corrected about it if
Yes.
anything comes out that is now today
Yeah.
deemed inappropriate. So I just wanted to say that before we started.
Yes, well said. And because there's a lot in this episode which is very inappropriate. And part of the episode
Yes.
is all about Christine's journey from being ignorant, I
Yes.
guess, about people with disabilities to understanding and being able to empathise. But I'm going to start with the title sequence.
But just before we start the title sequence,
Yeah.
can I talk pre-title sequence?
Oh my God, yes.
It's not an episode recap of what happened before.
this is what's going to be.
It's a
isn't it?
preview
Yeah.
of what happens in the episode, which I thought was really strange.
It's very 80s though. It happens a lot in TV shows. The A-Team used to do it. Even, actually, it goes before the 80s because I remember Space 1999 used to do it in like 1976 and 77. So it's very much aimed for an American audience to lure the viewer in. This is what you're going to see. So it basically just spoils the whole episode, doesn't it?
Now, when I was at my training school for TV and film, the principal there always used to talk about the shit click moment.
The what?
The shit click moment, which is basically, if you're watching a television show, it's even more appropriate now in the days of
Clickbait and
clickbaiting
2-second attention spans. Yeah.
Catching people's attention. It's that moment in a TV show where you're watching it and you go, this is shit, click the remote onto something else.
Right.
So this was probably an 80s way of just, like you say, reeling people in so we don't
Absolutely.
get that shit click moment.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the theme tune now.
Theme tune. I mean, it's just iconic, isn't it?
Yeah.
All Cagney and Lacey come on Prime. You can watch it for nothing.
Yes, we'll put the link.
Yes, and I've been watching it, and it's such a thrill, honestly. Yeah. But the first season, which we will touch on, I guess, is very different in tone, and there's a different Christine for starters. But this is just like brash. It's like brassy. It's, I just love it.
It's great, and it always
it
presents like a really big picture of New York.
Yes.
Which is so alluring, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's so exciting,
Yes.
hustle and bustling. Obviously, they talk about the crime-ridden New York, which it was in the 80s.
Yes.
All these big skyscrapers and getting into different kind of
just
scrapes and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
Lots of gun action.
Lots of gun action. There's the classic moment of them coming out the subway and there's Flasher and Mary Beth says something. And I remember points of view about this time, somebody written and saying, can you tell us what Mary Beth says, to the Flasher? Yeah. And apparently she says something like, put it away, you don't know where it's been. Something like that. Sorry for the accent, I can't help it. But the running through the metro train, with the guns.
To hit on a theme tune that just resonates even today. We were singing it before, weren't we?
Yeah. I think it's Bill Conti who did the theme tune to Dynasty as well. So I think, I could be mistaken on that.
We'll cut that bit out if it's not true.
But
fact-checking department.
Did you notice it's directed and written by women, this episode? Yeah, which I thought was, again, must have seemed really groundbreaking. I think one of the things about Cagney and Lacey was that it was a really, I think, honest representation of female bodyship in a way that Charlie's Angels isn't really, These two, I love their relationship with each other. It's kind of acid, sometimes a bit barbed at each other there. It's not all softy. They do kind of take the piss out of each other. It feels really genuine.
They give each other home truths, don't they?
Absolutely. Yeah. They can be honest with each other. And I think it's really refreshing. And it's still really refreshing to see that today, you know.
Absolutely. No, I mean, I wanted to talk a bit about the dynamic between Tyne Daly and Sharon Gless, because it's almost as if, you know, you get these partnerships sometimes where they just riff off each other and you can tell they've rehearsed it. They just know each other's nuances and stuff. And what was a tiny little bit of a shame about this episode is that primarily it was about Cagney.
Yes.
Didn't take anything away from it, but the scenes between Christine and Mary Beth were quite limited, weren't they? Because Tyne Daly was pregnant, wasn't she, in real life?
By this point, yeah.
So she was kind of given a smaller kind of minor role. There was a side story about her having a baby shower, which she was reluctant to do.
Yes.
And also what I liked, and who didn't appear hugely in this episode, is Harvey, Mary Beth's husband, because I just thought their dynamic together was blistering. And when I think back to the 80s, obviously I think about the way Cagney and Lacey worked together, but also the dynamic between Mary Beth and her husband Harvey.
Absolutely.
Were really good scenes as well. They went through a huge amount together, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, very truthful, very honest.
Yes.
And their performances are very honest as well, aren't they?
Yeah. They are.
So let's get to the main crux of this episode, which is that somebody's been mugging people in wheelchairs, basically.
Yeah.
And Christine is forced to confront this activist called Peters, who's in a wheelchair. Now, the actor who plays Peters actually lost his arm and a leg. He was hit by a motorcycle, I think, in 1973. Also a bit murky.
Right.
Some of us in trouble with the law for kiddie fiddling, basically.
Oh,
yeah, it's the 80s. You can't fucking get away from it, can you? Oh. And anyway, so Christine initially uses the term handicapped. And I'll just say here, let's look at this, because the use of the term handicapped is now considered outdated, potentially offensive. I hadn't realised the term comes from because people in wheelchairs or disabilities used to have to beg for money with a cap in the hand.
Oh, really?
So cap in hand becomes handicapped. Oh. And that's why the term is no longer in use at all. It's obviously demeaning. And what happens, so nowadays we use more respectful person first language, such as they're a person with a disability or a disabled person. So disabled or disability is the current kind of usage. So it doesn't have any kind of historical baggage. And certainly other characters in this episode mention cripples, crips. You know, it's all a little bit
physically inconvenienced. Yes, was another term used.
Yeah. She tries to use the phrase physically challenged, and at which he comes back to and says he prefers the term Gimp. You know, this is what Peter says.
Hence the title of the episode.
Yeah. And at one point, she actually says, nothing makes me feel comfortable about this case to this guy in a wheelchair, you know. So this is the position the episode is coming from. We're clearly doing an issue-based episode this season, but actually I kind of found it, I mean, there are some schmaltzy bits. Yeah. I found it actually quite understanding and actually was doing its best to open the viewer's eyes to the experience of somebody with disabilities, you know?
I thought that. I thought it was trying really hard to be right on and highlight this issue of disability. I felt the method of execution was a little bit clunky and a bit on the nose at times with stuff, which we'll get into. Yeah. But for a show in the 1980s to highlight this issue, it was really interesting, and it raised some really good questions about what it is like to be a disabled person. Yes. And also it challenged able-bodied people's attitudes, if you're allowed to say that term, towards people with disabilities. Yes. So, all kind of tied up in this crime, which I felt, I'm jumping forward a little bit, but the crime was tied up with a very nice little pretty bow very quickly. Yes, as is actually the want of Cagney and Lacey episodes. You got 50 minutes basically, and the ones I've watched, it's like, oh, we've solved it. Yeah. On next. So that's why I say it was an episode about disabilities and questioning people's attitudes towards disabilities rather than a crime-solving drama at this stage. The crime was just like a little backdrop to the actual, the whole episode. This was all about Christine's journey. But again, going back to the idea that it challenged perceptions and it raised awareness, there's the whole thing about that the criminal is targeting people who've used this particular taxi firm because this taxi firm doesn't mind handling wheelchairs, you know. So you get this sense that disabilities were inconvenient for everybody. There's something, oh God, we're not going to deal with that because we can't be bothered, or it's too much hassle. And actually what you see is when Christine goes undercover in the wheelchair, the only way she can get in and out of the wheelchair is to be lifted out of the wheelchair. So there's no kind of allowance, or it's
not like today when you see taxis which are incredibly do things for people in wheelchairs. You know, public transport, you know, these days is incredible. And if you think about how shitty it must have been to be in a wheelchair back in the 80s, the 90s, even any time in history, you know, you must have felt so fucking isolated and unable to go anywhere, really, you know, and you still see horror stories of people who will get stuck on a plane because they haven't got their wheelchair. So they have to crawl off and just like...
Yeah, we're definitely not saying that it's over now. There's still huge amounts to go, but
totally.
you know, the progress has been made. I mean, the first time we see Ted Peters, who is the guy in the wheelchair, he's trying to get into the police station and the ramp is blocked by workers doing something.
Yes.
So, yes.
And Christine, when he says, I can't get in, and Christine's attitude is one of, oh, God, why are you a problem, basically? But we see her mellow, don't we?
Yes,
and
we
do.
See her... and it's also, I think what's really nice about this is that it's Ted Peters, she's told that she has to work with him, and it's obviously the common story trope is the big bosses who are determined to look PC, even though that was quite questionable that the NYPD would be so equal rights in this point. But she's basically told she's at a fork in the roads, turn over the case to the higher ups if you can't handle it, or seek Ted's help. So she's been given this dilemma and this choice, and she ultimately goes to seek Ted's help. And then this kind of relationship, there's definitely sparks there and stuff.
Yeah.
And she begins she doesn't begin a relationship. She shags him, basically.
Yes, she does. She does. Did you notice it's very interesting because they very quickly, early on, they established that Peters is a sexual character, a character with sexuality. So she goes to his office, he's an activist, and there's this able-bodied woman who goes, oh my God, Ted, hi, are we going for dinner? They've obviously fucked, you know, so they're clearly sexualizing him to say that even despite the fact he's in a wheelchair, despite the fact he's missing an arm and a leg, he's still a sexual being in order that Christine can then fall in love with him. Well, she just fall in love with him. I mean, it's 80s, so we get 50 minutes to really fall in love with somebody after you've had a night of shag with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what's really nice is the day after. Obviously, you know, everybody, when they shag somebody, not everybody, but it's a common trope, isn't it, that you experience a bit of morning after regret, walk of shame style vibes and stuff. And she's challenged by actually really liking this guy. But because the guy's in a wheelchair, is conflicted about her feelings. She can't cope with having a relationship with a person who's in a wheelchair. She says at one point, I ski. You know, I love to ski. Yeah. He'd be waiting at the bottom of the piece, all sad while I was doing it. It's going to impinge on my life. I don't know if I have the guts to enter into a relationship with this guy. Yeah. She goes around to Mary Beth, and that's one of the nice scenes where Mary Beth and Christine talk with each other, and Mary Beth challenges her assumptions. But to even have a character voice these opinions about having a relationship with a disabled person in the 1980s, I think was, you know, really good thing.
Yeah, me too. The seduction scene was a little bit horrible. And he comes across a little bit sleazy.
He's a little bit sleazy.
I mean, he's an 80s guy, isn't he? He used to be in advertising, the character says, you know.
Yeah. I thought what was really interesting about the fact that he said he was in advertising on Madison Avenue, you know, the advertising capital of the world. And he said after he had his accident, he could have gone back to advertising, but advertising is all about image, so he guessed he wouldn't fit in there looking the way he did, meaning you're not conventional, you're not the norm, so you won't be able to get ahead in advertising, so to speak. Anyway, I interrupted you there.
No, you're right, but then we do get that really icky seduction scene. So Christine has to learn how to operate a wheelchair, obviously, and plot convenience, she has to go and live with Peters undercover, so she can pretend to be in a wheelchair, and then she can call this taxi firm and they can try and sniff out the criminal and get the sequence, first of all, of her around the city in the wheelchair. And this is where it gets a little bit schmaltzy.
A bit overkill.
A little bit overkill. With the best intentions, clearly they're showing how difficult it would have been for somebody in a wheelchair to navigate New York City. You know, she can't reach the payphone, she gets stuck on a curb.
A little boy stares at her, and it's the attitude of the mum saying, don't stare, in brackets, at the disabled woman.
Somebody calls her a crip.
All accompanied by this really twinkly, minor key music indicating and highlighting the sadness of her journey.
Yes.
Which, in effect, it's an able-bodied woman
Yes.
trying out a wheelchair.
Yeah.
But she's like really affected by it, as though it kind of made me think they're kind of trying to portray as though she really is disabled.
Yeah.
Not just an able-bodied woman
Yes, yes.
experiencing some issues with being in a wheelchair.
Yeah, but it's so redolent of how disabilities were viewed as this tragic, sad thing. Because if you remember the telethons they had in this country in like the late 80s and early 90s, which were ITV's answer to children in need, which would raise money for various charities of all kinds, but they would present the little videos you have of people with disabilities in this tragic, oh my God, it's so sad for them. We can help them to have a better life, you know, and this is very much in that vein. So this is probably one of the most problematic sequences in this episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
But wrapped up in this trying to do the right thing, but it just come across as it's really, I mean, it's like, all right, we get it. You know?
Also, what I found quite problematic is the police department itself. Okay, so the police department, I'm kind of segue away from the disabilities a little bit, but it's predominantly white. So there is a black character, one of the cops, isn't there?
Yeah, who's one of the main characters, actually, yeah.
But just one of the images that I felt was just really striking is we've all seen the shows where, you know, it's a really busy New York PD department. The typewriters are going and everything. Everyone's carrying files around.
Swinging.
Yeah. But there was like a cage in the background, you know, where they put the prisoners. And there was, out of this office of white people, there was a black man in this cage as a prisoner. That picture to me just really struck me.
Yes.
For whatever connotations that presented.
Yeah.
But also, one of the criticisms of Cagney and Lacey is that everybody in the police departments feels very altruistic, as though like the kind of exemplar of policing.
Right.
Whereas in 80s New York Police Department, there was a huge amount of corruption there, which never of seemed to be highlighted in this.
Yes.
And this went to the other extreme because they were having a issue-based episode about disability. The higher ups were really insistent, coming down on Christine like a ton of bricks because she'd been horrible to a person in a wheelchair, and they were worried about the optics. It just felt as though this was coming 20 years too early, that the higher ups in the police department would be worried about how it would look.
Yes, yeah.
You know, so that was just kind of hammer home the point that we're right on about disability.
Right on. Yeah, absolutely. Can we talk about Mary Beth?
Yes.
Because I thought it was interesting, because Mary Beth, as you said, is heavily pregnant by this point. Christine decides to throw a surprise baby shower for her, which is a great scene, you know, because Mary Beth is just like, you know, we didn't want this. But I thought what was really interesting is later on, her and Harvey have an argument because Mary Beth is sick of her pregnancy. And this episode is made in 1986, right in the middle of Reagan's America, where the idea of family and motherhood is really being perpetuated and thrown down women's necks. You know, this is probably the only Christian conservative, a bit like today, but your job is to have babies. And there's a beautiful scene with Harvey where Mary Beth's clearly had enough.
Yeah.
And she just says, how would you like to carry around 36 extra pounds for 2 months? And then she goes on to say, how would you like to retain enough water to float a battleship? My shoes are too small. My elasticated waistbands are too tight. I sit down, I'm uncomfortable. I stand up, my ankles swell. And it was just this whole up yours to the idea that motherhood is this beautiful state of natural womanhood, you know, and that you should embrace it. And she was just like, fuck off. I feel like shit, you know? So I thought it was great.
It was great because it was so real, this scene between them, because Harvey was, oh, for God's sake, I cannot do anything right. I cannot say anything right. But I always remember that it was Harvey and Mary Beth and their conversations were just rooted in so much truth and so well acted.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's go on to talk about Christine's drinking problem.
Yes, because it's one of the common things over the series, isn't it? I mean, it's touched on in this episode. Clearly, she's chugging the whiskey at home on her own, you know, but it doesn't really...
It doesn't touch on it in this episode, but I do know it is highlighted throughout. And there's also been discussions about what the problematic element might be of Cagney and Lacey, even though it's celebrated because it's got two female protagonists as their leads, which is a huge step forward. But their representations have often argued to feel a little bit cliched.
Right.
You've got these two representations of women. There's the conservative homemaker. Talk about Reagan's America. Anybody who's outside that, if a woman chooses her career, as does Christine Cagney, then she will likely have mental health issues or alcoholism issues.
Yes.
As though these are the only two representations of women.
Yes.
If Christine is what happens to a woman,
Who
if
doesn't.
they don't follow the line of
Right.
Mary Beth, rather than there's all sorts of examples of
Yes,
womanhood.
yeah.
And
But then you could argue that Christine obviously has a difficult relationship with her dad. One of the things that stood out for Cagney and Lacey is the fact that these are two women who become detectives. That's the early kind of emphasis of the early series. So that's an unusual thing. And Christine's dad, she believed he always wanted a son. Her dad was a copper as well. So she has a fractious relationship with her dad and clearly doesn't believe in herself because of her relationship with her dad. So you could argue that was the reason for her drinking. But we've got 50 minutes to tell a story.
Yeah.
We've also, as we've talked about before, we're coming into the era when actually you're getting personal stories now. It's not just plot of the week, reset, next episode. Is it good drama to see Christine just happy? Not really. So we've got to have some kind of dramatic thing going on, haven't we? So
yeah, of course. Can we just park all the serious stuff?
Yes.
And talk about
The fashions.
Cagney's
Her outfit.
fashions.
Oh.
I have never seen an episode of the show where one woman it's winter in New York, that's very clear.
Yeah.
Has a different outside winter coat
Yes.
for every single scene that she
Yes.
is in.
Yeah.
We had a sheepskin affair at one point.
Yeah.
We had, like you say, the Kathy Beals knits.
Yeah, she has
kind of,
been to Kathy Beale's knitwear stall in Albert
Yeah.
Square because some of those jumpers she has on.
It's pastel. It's pastel baby blue, isn't it?
Pastel. There's this fucking ski jacket at one point.
She's got fucking tartan scarf and red beret on one point when she's wheeling herself down the New York busy street.
There's a lot that reminds me of like a 1986 K's catalogue, like Woman About Town,
Do you think that the budget at this, because this was season 5, wasn't it? The budget had been up slightly
I think
by this
it must have
point.
been,
And they wanted Christine Cagney in a different outfit.
Yes, yeah.
She even came in as Michelle of the Resistance at one point.
She did.
With her dark glasses on and her overcoat.
She did. Trying to smuggle herself into the building.
They were all fabulous outfits. I was like coveting each and every one of them.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Also, how grotty was that police department? I see
Yes.
New York grot. Look, bloody grot. There's one scene where she's trundling down this alleyway in a wheelchair, and it's just so scabby looking, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, look, I'm not going to disparage the script writing this because I thought the scenes in particular about the disability and the scenes between Harvey and Mary Beth, and then Mary Beth and Christine were sparkling scripts.
Yes. Yeah.
Some of the dialogue in the police department was, because this was the 5th season and they just shot there for 5 whole years, but it was a little bit cliche.
Yes.
At one point, Christine said, "I'm up to my eyes in this case." And all that. It's like, "Give me a shot, boss." Do you know what I mean? It was like every box ticked.
Yes.
Okay, can we just get a little bit problematic
Yes.
in ourselves? So, during the theme tune montage, it introduced all the actors. There's a guy.
That was Becky.
Yeah, that was Becky. Martin Cove, he was called, in the
Putting his
shirtless
shirt on.
scene.
Oh
Now,
my God.
for some reason, that stuck in my mind, and I thought, yeah, I recognise that scene.
Yes, me
He's
too.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, oh, it's gorgeous. And that's when the music goes. Yeah. Oh,
And you fancied the other guy, didn't you?
I fancied them all, but not obviously. No, I fancied just Becky, and I couldn't remember what the black guy's called, but yeah, he didn't look so good without his tash. I have to say, the black guy. I was a bit disappointed. He looked much better with his tash.
Right.
But yeah, that was Becky chest shot at the opening credits. I mean,
One for the ladies.
one for the ladies and one for the gays.
One for ladies, one for gays.
Yeah. Can we talk briefly about the first Christine?
Yes.
Because, as I said, I've been watching them on Prime from the beginning, and the first season, obviously, it's not Sharon Gless playing Christine. It's Meg Foster, did you say it was? Yeah. She's great. She's absolutely great. She's got amazing eyes, but it does speak of, even though we've got this groundbreaking show, you know, which clearly has a lot of women involved in its production, they get rid of her because they're worried that she might be perceived as a lesbian. And she's a bit too masculine. She's clearly fucking not. But it was interesting that was the reason that they changed Christine.
I wonder what she thought of that.
I'd love to know, actually. I've never seen her talk about it, but and she's good. And actually, I think it's a real credit to Tyne Daly that her relationship with Meg Foster's Christine is just as sparky.
Wow.
It's the writing as well. They've clearly known each other for years. You know, that's the instant relationships. I think it's a real shame that Meg Foster was dropped. I think she's very good.
I saw Tyne Daly in the West End a few years ago. It must have been about 10, 15 years ago, even now, playing Maria Callas. You know, the show about Callas?
Yes.
And she was fantastic in that. I just think they're both, Sharon Gless and Tyne Daly, are class acts, aren't they?
Yeah, they got nominated for tons of awards.
Yeah, they won a lot of Emmys.
Deservedly. So with all that being said, what would you mark Cagney and Lacey out of 10?
I'm going to give it 8 red berets out of 10.
Right, yes. Just the love of it. I'm going to give it 8 chunky knitwear jumpers out of 10. Yeah, very good. Thank you, Cagney and Lacey.
Thank you, Cagney and
Round
Lacey.
of applause,
Thank
ladies.
you for all your service.
Round
in
of
the
applause,
force.
ladies. Yeah,
Yes.
super. And as I said, I am watching the whole lot and I'm really enjoying them.
you?
So I urge people to do the same.
That is
They're great fun.
dedication for you to
they're great
the
fun.
Cagney and Lacey cause.
So let's step away from 1986, head into the telly TARDIS.
Going back.
And
Back 20 years.
Yes, back 20 years to 1966.
Yes.
Because what we're looking at next episode, Dave.
We are looking at an episode of The Avengers. Now, before you start, it's not the modern Avengers. We're talking about The Avengers, the 1960s spy crime drama /
Whimsical fantasy series.
Yes. Not comedy, but it's just surreal drama.
Emblematic of the 1960s.
Yes, starring Patrick Macnee and various other smatterings of ladies. Honor Blackman,
Dinah Rigg,
Linda
Thorson, Joanna Lumley later on.
Exactly.
New Avengers. Yes, so get your champagne ready, get your bowler hat, your leather boots, your kinky boots ready.
Yes.
Because we'll be looking at that. And we also have some very special guest stars joining us for that episode, don't we?
We do. Now, we did mention this in our Problematic Gazette.
Yes, but just in case you didn't hear it, we will be joined in PG Manor by none other than Hilary and Michael Whitehall. The Wittering Whitehalls themselves will be here discussing the Avengers. And Michael used to be Patrick Macnee's agent back in the day.
Yes, I think he might have some stories about Patrick Macnee and the 60s and 70s and 80s work as a theatrical agent.
Yes.
And Hilary will be giving some bonmot as well about her life as an actor and her knowledge of the theatrical world.
So it's very exciting. Our first special guest.
Yes. So
Look
what a
forward
week
to
it's
that.
been.
What a week it's been,
Yes,
darling.
we've been nominated for Independent Podcast Awards. Not that we're blowing our own trumpet or anything, but, you know, if you've got it, you should blow it.
Absolutely.
That's our
the
motto in
catchphrase.
life, isn't it?
If someone else has got it, you should blow it as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just blow in general, basically.
Blow.
Okay, so till next week for our very special episode.
Right, I'm off to tell a flasher that his cock's not up to much. You should put it away because you know where it's been. What are you going to do?
I'm going to expand my elasticated waist and unleash some water retention from my ankles.
Oh, good luck with that, darling.
Yeah.
Until next week, everybody, have a lovely week. Au reservoir.
Au reservoir.